What ho! Good afternoon, ladies and jellyfish. Now, what we've got today is a lovely, lovely owned, probably 1977, 78, 79, something like that. A probably owned Hondo II. And I'm going to give it a bit of play for you. Same sort of thing as usual. Give it a bit play a little tune, then we'll have a little run through the pickups, and then I will tell you what I can about this lovely old boy. Alright, let's have a listen to first noisy and then the pickups on clean. Here we go. Starting from the bridge to the neck. There's only 3 positions. It shouldn't take long. And everything flat out. Into the centre. To the neck or rhythm position. So there we go, that's it on a clean setting. So, originally, let's have you up here where I can see you, that's better. So, originally, and I must insert a little codicil here, you will see these advertised for sale. And this one, with the black block inlays, is very probably the most common one that you will see. What I frequently experience when I see these advertised is that the vendor asserts that they're made in Japan. They're not, I can tell you for sure. Originally, the 1973-1974 Hondos were made indeed in the Gaki plant, same as Ibanez, made in the Gaki plant in Japan. However, after 74, they were made in the Samick factory in Korea. And they are superb. And you can see, can't you see why there was a great big fat old lawsuit about them? I mean, look at the damn things. That is, if that's not a custom shop headstock, then I don't know what is. And they are constructed from, these things are proper wood. These things are made from solid ash, with in fact a curved ash laminate top, so it's ash from top to bottom. You've got roughly, I think that's four ply binding there. So it's a Les Paul copy, 2 volumes, 2 tones. It's got a scratch plate. It's got 2 humbuckers, and it has a 22 fret neck, and it's got a 3-position toggle switch. And that's pretty much the story about the Hondo II in general. Made in most of the ones that you'll see, especially the ones that look like this, anything that's post 1974 will have been made in the Samick factory in Korea. And they're so much better than they should be. They really, really are. So let's first talk about the humbuckers. Now, of course, as you can see there, you've got a classic Gibson style stop tail and tunomatic bridge, which works perfectly well. The humbuckers, yeah, well, they're not humbuckers, are they? These were made very much in the same vein as the Avon, Shaftesbury, Columbus items that were around at the same kind of time, and it always amuses me to think that we used to think of guitars that were made in Japan as being inferior somehow, whereas we were absolutely a mile off the truth, because Japanese stuff is just superb. But actually, these days, most things are superb. I had a guy write into me asking about buying an Indonesian Squire Strat for his nipper for Christmas, and he was concerned that somehow the quality may be inferior, but they're just not. All the Indonesian stuff, the Chinese stuff, Korean, it's all great. So let's move on to the, oh yes, have I talked about the humbuckers yet? If I haven't, I will do. So yes, so in the same vein as the Avon, Columbus, Shaftesbury, and all of those types that were all around in those days, the humbuckers are not humbuckers. They've just got humbucker caps. You can put humbucker caps on anything, pretty much. If, for example, you have a Gibson with open coils, so that you can see the guts, 18 quid and a tenner down your guitar tech will see them have genuine Gibson covers on them. So these are just covers, and inside there are single coils. And let me tell you, they've got plenty of power. They do have enough, this is powerful enough and definitely playable enough to gig with. And it looks terrific. Okay, so what else can we tell you? Well, disappointingly, of course, they do have a bolt-on neck, which I rather suspect was more because of for ease of shipping rather than manufacture. Because of course, if you can take it in 2 bits and pack it into smaller boxes, then it drives down the cost. And that is, of course, what these guitars were all about. Because they weren't meant to replace a Gibson, they were made to, look a bit like one and make 13-year-old Timmy happy. So that is what they did. The cost was driven down by, materials that would bring the guitars in within a certain budget. So we have now, doesn't it? The headstock with that cut, and that is an inlay. So the headstock is just pure Gibson custom shop design on it, and it's even got a pancake body, which is, and they look great. They look great and they play great. So this particular instrument, I have of course waved my magic wand over it, and the action is just superb. It's, as you can, hopefully as you've heard, it's real. This is really playable, and this has had a life. You can see all of the cowboy chord wear on the fretboard there. Now the neck and fretboard are maple with block inlays, of course, and looks like probably two pieces to me. I reckon that the headstock has been nailed on somehow on top of the neck, and as you will notice, there are some extra holes here, and the extra holes are there because the original tuners, those original covered bullet style tuners, they're okay, but these will be better. These, in fact, these are genuine Burns tuners, and they probably outweigh the value of the rest of the guitar, if I'm perfectly honest. So with it being a bit of a budget chap, yes, we've got wear here and there and marks and all sorts of stuff. So the guy got it off. He's had it from new, and he's actually put two new frets on that are fret 1 and 2, and perfectly adequate job. So obviously he was always playing, like I say, the cowboy chords. He was just playing down here. So what else do we have? They all came fitted with a brass nut, and I will, because if you don't get anything else from me here, even if my information isn't always exactly spot on, what you do get is honesty. And I've obviously, as I say, I've worked on it, and the truss rod is absolutely at its slackest adjustment. So there's no further to go for your concave shape here. But that said, it's bang on. It's absolutely bang on. The frets have taken a bit of a pasting over the years, but all the same, nice and shiny, no bits missing, no lumps or bumps, and the binding is bloody superb. Oh yes, you might want to have a look at that. As you can see, it gives the designation there on the neck plate. And other than that, there are not. I did have to replace one of the tone pots because that had collapsed, but it's absolutely fine now. Replaced with a nice shiny new one, and I think that's pretty much it. Just one more little thing that I will mention. So, with it being a budget guitar, I didn't want to spend a load of money on strings, which is what I normally do. Normally I use branded, top of the range, decent, well, not like elixirs or anything like that, because paying 25 quid for a set of strings, quite frankly, in my opinion, is just daft. So I thought, I'm going to give these a try, and it's these here, those there. So they are, as you can see, Harley Benton 1942 gauge strings, and they come in at about 3 quid, and they are brilliant. So don't go spending money unnecessarily, because you're going to replace your strings often-ish. On a guitar that I will play when I was gigging before, anything awful happened, probably 4 times a year, something like that, maybe more, 3 or 4 times a year certainly. And even now, any guitars that I'm actually hanging on to, the minimum requirement for me is annually. whether, you know, because they just go off. But at £3 a pop, blimey O'Reilly. And let me tell you, I've tried everything. I know strings, and these are excellent. So Harley Benton 1942s. There you go. So that's it from me and the Hondo. Oh, today, did I tell you the date? Today is Black Friday. It's Friday the 13th. We're on about 4:10. Yes. Are we? No. 3:30. And so, yes, that's it. It's been lovely seeing you. So yeah, look at the split. I'm not sure whether the back is a veneer or not, but you can see the join here, can't you? And yeah, all in all, I also rather suspect with this one that the knobs are not original, and they come with those little white plastic indicators that are meant to look a little bit like thumb bleeders. Of course, they ain't. They're just little bits of plastic. But all in all, a really, really, really nice guitar. With, as I say, with the pickups being single coil humbucker pretend ones, they're not wax potted, and they will squeal, providing you achieve the desired amplitude to make them so do. And that is it from me, my friends. It's awfully nice to see you, as usual, and it's adios amigos. Ta-ra!